everyone, Sophia here, My Great Challenger. Welcome back to my channel. I am baking today and it's a vintage recipe. I actually made this cake. Yes, it's baking. I made this cake last weekend for the boys, and or maybe it was 2 weeks ago. All blur. They liked it so much. We liked it so much. I am making it again, and I figured I'll share it with you. This recipe is from the Good Housekeeping cookbook from 1963. This one right here. I don't know what the cover looked like, the dust cover, but it's this book right here. And it was called the Silver White Cake, but I am making it a chocolate marble cake, which is William's favorite. He loves chocolate marble cake. And I believe it's called the Silver White Cake because it uses Crisco. I know it's not the healthiest thing. When you mix the white part of it, you'll see it becomes like a silver sheen on it. It's really pretty. And then you cut it in half and you do a chocolate part of it, and then you keep it white. So listen, if you're not for Crisco, you use butter, okay? But I'm gonna use Crisco because we really don't use Crisco unless I bake once in a blue moon. I'm gonna make it with Crisco. Dishwasher, sorry. I'm gonna make it with Crisco, but you can do butter, and it's only a half a cup, okay? So let me give you all the ingredients and we'll get started. It doesn't take a long time. Sometimes I bake and you're like, oh my God, there's so many steps. This one, not so much, but it's a delicious cake. Now you're supposed to make it as a layered cake. Again, I'm doing it different. I'm doing it as a bundt cake. Because why not? Let's get started. So here are the ingredients for the main batter, and then I'll show you what I use for the chocolate part. So if you want to do just a white cake, this is what you need. This is 2.5 cups of regular flour. You can use cake flour, you can sift it or not sift it. I don't sift my flour. So that's 2.5 cups. And this is 4 egg whites. You don't use the yolk, 4 egg whites. This is 1.5 cups of white granulated sugar. In this little ramekin, I have 3 teaspoons of double acting baking powder and 1 teaspoon of salt. In here, I have a teaspoon of vanilla extract and the equivalent of 1/4 teaspoon of almond extract. That's optional. I actually put a little bit more of the almond extract because we really like that flavor. This is a 1/2 cup of Crisco, and again you can substitute and use a 1/2 cup of butter. and this is a full cup of milk plus the equivalent of about 2 tablespoons. So if you're going to do a marble cake, you're going to split your batter into 2 once it's done, right? And what you're going to do is just use some unsweetened chocolate, baker's chocolate, any kind. I use this one, the regular baker's premium baking chocolate. And I just add a little bit of water. I put it in the microwave. I melt it and I add a little bit of vanilla sugar. This is the French kind, but you know, you can buy whatever you want, or just regular brown sugar if you want. And I add it to the other half of the batter, and then you just mix them. You'll see, but you don't have to do half and half. You can do a little bit less, or you just keep it as a white cake. It's supposedly a silver cake. You can keep it just white, it doesn't matter. But again, I do it as a marble cake. So let's get started. First things first is egg whites. It's really hot. I had to turn off the fan because otherwise you get like this whoop, whoop sound. You know, somebody the other day asked me if I was still using appliances that I've received for reviews. And I do. This is one of them. This is the A-School mixer, I guess, stand mixer. This is something that I use a lot actually, because I bake a lot. And it's got its things. You'll see. It's there's not a lot of room to pour things in. I wish the bowl was a little bit wider, but it's really cool. I can't believe I lived most of my life without one, to be honest. It's an essential. Any mixer is an essential. Okay, egg whites. Here we go. So you're supposed to beat them until they get kind of foamy, and then you add the equivalent of half a cup of your sugar, and then you beat them until they make peaks, but you don't put the whole sugar, just half of the sugar. Let's go. Yes, you're supposed to beat them until they make soft peaks. So let's see. Okay, soft peaks it is. So what I'm gonna do is take another bowl and we're gonna transfer. See, soft peaks. Rinse that, and when I come back we move on to the next step. So the next step is pretty much straightforward, is the rest of the batter, and it's what you do with most cakes, which is cream your sugar and what would be butter with any other cake. In this case it's Crisco. So let me get my spatula, put the Crisco in there. We're gonna cream that. We're gonna let it mix together, and then on the side what you do is mix your dry ingredients. So the salt and the baking powder with the flour. If you want to sift it, this is the time to do it if you have a good sifter. Again, I don't. And what you're going to do is cream your butter and your sugar, or your crisco and your sugar. And once it's nicely creamed, you're going to start incorporating one at a time your flour, your milk, and your vanilla and sugar extract. And once that's all incorporated, at the end you add your egg. Okay, let's get started. Nicely mixed together. I'm gonna get all of this out of here and get ready to mix my eggs to it. So that's the batter, and I don't know if you can tell, but there's like a sheen to it. It almost looks like pearlescent, right? And I think that's what they call it, white silver cake. Alright, so what I'm going to do is use this bowl and split it so that I have a little bit of my batter for the chocolate one. There we go. So that's going to be for chocolate. And that's going to be the regular white batter. Right? And when I come back, we're making the chocolate batter. So let's not waste time. Oven at 375. I'm just going to melt a little bit of the chocolate here. I always melt too much, so you know, it's not a big deal. You just want a little bit of color, that's it. Let's do about 75%. A little bit of vanilla sugar. Only because this is unsweetened. And just put it in the microwave 30 seconds at a time. You know, spoon it every 30 seconds until it gets melted, and then you mix it in your bowl with your batter till the batter gets a nice coloring. Okay, first 30 seconds, let's see. Let's do another 30 seconds. You know you do the same thing. Fine, I'll change the spoon. New spoon. Alright, that's fine. That's just 60 seconds. Well, let it continue to melt on its own. Alright, and let's transfer it to the batter. So now we have a white batter and a chocolate batter. Let me get my mold and we're ready to go. I'm using a bundt cake pan. A big hunk of butter in a paper towel. And let's not hesitate to cover. You know why I put too much? Because there's nothing worse than a cake that doesn't come out of the pan on a YouTube video. You end up looking like an idiot. It's the truth. It's quite embarrassing, to be honest. So we're gonna grease this baby and it's gonna slide out of the pan. Okay? We're not leaving anything to chance. Then we'll give it a little bit of flour, because we want to look like we know what we're doing. Let's start a marble cake. So we're gonna do dots. Like this. Oh, I didn't see that. Hold on. Let's bring it back right here. Okay. And then I'm gonna put you right here. And you go here. And you go here. And you go here. Alright. And I'm covering this one. This. This one with this. This one with this. You see what I'm doing, right? This one with this. And once you have your little staggered, you take a chopstick or anything you have, like even a knife, and then, but you don't do it a lot because otherwise you're gonna mess up the whole thing. And then you start making swirls like this. Alright, that's enough. Because you don't want it to be a whole chocolate cake, right? Okay, marble cake, okay? In the oven it goes. Well, I tell you what, let's do 35. And then at 35 we'll put a knife in it and then we'll see how many more minutes we gotta add, but it's pretty much 45, if not 55 minutes at 375. In the oven, here you go, and we're gonna do 35, even though I know better, but we'll come back and we'll try it. And 35 minutes is plenty time for me to clean up. So let's see. It's been 35. No way. Yeah. Alright. We're gonna give it 10 more minutes. Alright, let's see. With an additional 10 minutes. What do we look like? Perfecto. Alright, so it's definitely a 45-minute on a bundt cake. So we have learned not to unmold right away, but to let it sit for a while so that it separates on its own from the edges. Sometimes you gotta help a little bit right here in the middle, but it looks marbled to me. What do you think? Looks pretty good. So what I do, if you want, once it's unmolded, you can leave it like that. You can put powdered sugar on it. You can do a ganache. I'm kind of pressed for time today because I have to do a live for Patreon. So I'm gonna do the poor man's cheapo funfetti by Pillsbury. We're gonna leave it on the stove so that it can kind of get a little bit melted, and we're gonna put the funfetti on it because after all, that's for the guys, and they love that stuff. It's too sweet for me. I don't care for it, but I will have a slice of cake. Look at all that marble design over here. It looks really good. So yeah, again, you can try it with either the Crisco or you can do it with butter. Either way. So wait a good 15 minutes and then unmold. Doing?
Nothing.
Are you picking up crumbs?
Nope.
There's more right here. Yeah. There's some here. Are you picking the frosting? Yeah, there's plenty right here. Here, oh look, there's a big crumb.
Okay.
Huh. Alright. I love the cake. It's a good cake.
It is a good cake.
Helps
that I'm hungry.
You can find this book online. Good Housekeeping Cookbook. I'm telling you, I'm fairly certain it's 1963. Let me check. 1960. Oh, I got chocolate. on my finger. 1963 from the Hearst Corporation. It's got really good recipes. I mean, yeah, it used crisco, which is kind of, you know, not the healthiest, but it's easy to replace with regular butter. And next time, I'm telling you, Scott, I'm going to try it with butter to see how we like it.
Crisco was everywhere back then.
Yeah, everybody was using.
Everybody used it back then.
People use crisco and margarine a lot, because it was praised as being less fattening, and yeah, it's vegetable oils. You're not supposed to. Yeah.
Shortening.
Yeah, it's shortening. It's a great cake. It's easy to make. Add a little bit more almond extract than what they tell you to do. That's why I put a little bit more, because almond, I think, and chocolate is just delicious. So, thumbs up if you like the recipe. It's easy to make. It's not super expensive. He likes it. The kids like it. If Edward shows up tonight, which I think he is, it's gonna be gone by Sunday night. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram at mygreatchallenge, and check all the links down below for my Etsy shop, Frenchie and Tubby, and my Patreon if you want to support exclusive content not seen on YouTube. I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching. Bye!